Morning guys, it's mine, Chris, from DOVER. We're out today, we're going over to Dover. We're doing the Western Heights North entrance tour today. So yeah, we've got Chris, obviously myself, and we've got his two daughters in the back. There and there. Say hello girls. Hi. Oh, hi. You'll be famous in a little while. Yeah, so it's going to be a good day hopefully. We're just heading on our way up there now. Yeah, fingers crossed we get there in time. Right guys, we've just arrived. We've signed our names in and everything. And yeah, we're just waiting patiently to get in. So yeah, fingers crossed it won't be too much longer. We're about to go in guys, so here we go.
Okay, so the tunnel here, so we look at the courses, the roadway was built 1860, 1861. And after the war, it was used for civilian traffic, of course, to come down to the town, built the cutting, and it was finally closed, I think it was about 1967 or 8, I think it was, to the public. After that, it wasn't open. We only opened it about 6 years ago, I think it was, roughly, I think. At that point, this was in much better condition. In the last 6 years, something really awful happened straight after we opened it. Just scratching those blocks here. This surface was continuous. It didn't have these great holes in it. These blocks are made of wood, so it wasn't too loud. Imagine a metal surface, and you're taking gun carriages and people drilling backwards and forwards. So it absorbs sound. But more importantly, of course, it wouldn't create sparks. Because a metal surface, you've got hot nail bolts, it creates sparks. You don't really want sparks if you're carrying bags of gunpowder around.
So it's a non-ferrous flooring.
So, anyway, let's walk down a little bit.
Right, watch the floor guys. So we have a gap here. Directly above, it's possible to see a light well. Originally, lighting conditions were seriously poor in this area. Although gas lighting was used, additional light was much welcomed. Much like a breather pipe, it also brought in a source of fresh air. The North Entrance complex suffered in the 1960s when Western Heights was seen as ripe for light industrial development rather than as an important historical site. Sadly, the drawbridge had fallen victim to criminal damage and had been set ablaze, causing considerable damage. This accounts for 3 of the missing beams, which disintegrated. The heavy oak drawbridge was counterweighted for ease of use. The drawbridge was operated by a winch that is positioned below, and once operated, the beams would interlock, creating a perfect floor space. The path that led to the drawbridge was S-shaped. This was to stop the enemy from having a straight line of fire. The elevated platform on the other side of the drawbridge is known as a tenaille. A drop bridge extends on after that. Below, it is just about possible to see the winch. Behind the drawbridge is a set of sliding doors. Hinges were not used because they are a known weakness. The sliding doors are still in situ. Iron rings were installed above the drawbridge, and an anti-submarine net was installed, taken from the nearby port. Below and to the left is an entrance to an old spiral staircase. The staircase is now rusted and eroded. These doors protected a sully port and were fitted with rifle slits to protect against invaders. As it goes downstairs, remains of a spiral staircase that comes out just over here where we just showed you. So yeah, down here, staircase, and then it exits at the bottom of the drawbridge. Just down here. Right guys, go down the stairs now.
So what we're in now is the Victorian gun room. It makes sense to do where you are. Oh, sorry. Right, sorry, I jumped ahead a bit. These are Victorian gun rooms. These These are to protect the ditch from anybody gone into the ditch directly below the drawbridge. You'll see in a minute or two when you peer out, you get your bearings in a minute or two. So again, these are the same age as the tunnel. These are 1860, 61, part of the rebuild phase of the heights. So built by civilians actually, under the directions of the Royal Engineers. Stiff and Richardson was the company, remember rightly, had this area. They were like a DOVER company of labourers, so the army came under plans. It was actually built by civilians, which you wouldn't expect. But it was contracted. Simply the army didn't have enough manpower or skill, to be honest, to build things like this. You know, they could draw up plans, but not actually construct it. So that's what this is. So what we're looking at here is that this is an expense magazine. Because in the next three rooms you've got carronade guns, I've spent a minute or two, had to stop the powder somewhere. That little cubby hole there with a very, very heavy door on it was the expense magazine. And that's where it's basically kept the powder. And that's why you got air bricks on here as well, to keep powder stable temperature and humidity as well, because you don't want your powder drying out, you know, or getting too wet.
Air bricks. There we go, guys.
Might use this guy's light while I'm in it.
Yeah, might as well.
The next room is one of the gun rooms.
Can we live down this way?
Yeah.
Yeah. Those loopholes that
Yeah, they would have been
yeah.
sort of bricked up the other side now.
Cool. Newspaper cuttings here. So, a few more. I don't want to stay away for too long because I want to catch up and hear what the guy's saying. I just want to get to the end here. There we go. And there's a bricked up archway here. Do we know where that went? Not yet, no. That's all right. I'll do some research later and see if I can figure out where this goes.
I mean, to be honest, where we are, I think it would probably sort of like to the end where the winch room and things are.
Yeah.
I think.
Okay.
Couldn't be 100% to be honest.
So it's a little bit of a clue for us so we can have a look on maps and stuff later. There we
Or
go.
just ask Phil, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure he will.
Phil knows everything.
Right, we'll make our way back, guys, and then we'll catch up and see what we've missed.
It's just talking about the gun rooms now.
Yeah. Right, we've got gun rooms coming up.
So you can pull if you pull the rope, the gun could then pivot slightly. You've got a slight bit of traverse on it. The holes like that were for smoke. When you fire the gun, the smoke's got to go somewhere, or you're going to smoke out your own crew. So that's where it would have gone, out there. And exactly the same, that remains the wooden shutter on the top there as well. There probably would have been a little pole or hook, you know, to pull it down. So at winter, so when you were being used, you could then close it back up again. So yes, that's what you had to imagine was in here. If you look through the slits, you get some. You can orientate yourself now. You can imagine if anybody got into the ditch, what you're actually doing is firing at anybody who got into the access, who got into the ditch, looking at the drawbridge to try to get access onto the
There's a
drawbridge.
loophole here, and this is the view looking out. So you can take pop shots and take people out that are trying to invade. Someone's put it up. There we go, we've got another one this side. There's another loophole. The gunrooms had fireplace installations. They had a flue to get rid of the smoke, and a secondary vent for the hot air to rise up and out into the room. Through this vent, the warm air was expelled.
So we've got the flue there, and this chamber, they had a pipe, clay pipe is under the floor somewhere, coming in, bringing fresh air into this chamber. It'll get warmed up by the flue gases and come out of there to warm the room up.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That seems really.
It brings fresh air in.
And the smoke goes out
Smoke
still.
goes up the other way.
Perfect. There we go. Early central heating, guys.
Warm air heating. There's also, you see that bit of wood over the doorway?
Yeah.
See, there's a very good black cloth hanging off it.
Yeah.
It's the remains of the gas curtain.
Oh, okay. There you go, guys. The remains of the gas curtain.
Oh, that's just something crazy.
It gets hot as hell, this torchlight. There we go, that one's better. It is, there's a bit of flint up there, guys, and like you can see the louvered flaps, like the vent. Got a bricked up section here, which lent into this room, and I'm sure if we look in the next room, we'll be able to see how that worked.
As long as you're interested in something.
There we go, got to duck down again, guys. This is quite a nice room. What was this bit up here? Okay, guys, if anyone knows what this is, drop it in the comments below, as we're not sure. It's like this, I'm sure would have had like a shelf on it. So there's a little plinth sticking out here and two brackets for a shelf. And this, guys, is most likely going to be another fireplace. It is indeed, but this one's got a hearth around it as well, to stop any of the fire, any of the coals or anything from spilling out onto the floor space. And yeah, again, you've got the exhaust area, and you've got the channel that leads up to another set of vents. So this whole area will be lovely and warm, no matter how cold it was outside. Making it very nice to live in or work within. There you go, we've got another exhaust area up here, guys. It's been capped off. Actually,
90 degrees.
yeah, I see that.
Above.
Can't quite get the angle right, but there you go, guys. It does actually move over. There's a channel that leads off in front of us here to the front wall to the ditch. Right.
If you're being pedantic, ditches, not moats.
Yeah.
Moats are filled with ditches dry.
What's the tube here for?
It's probably a later addition done during the war sometime.
Yeah.
I think there was a toilet put there.
Oh, okay.
I'm not sure. The original ones, it was all done with buckets.
Yeah.
Can one of your talks, please?
Yeah, sure.
You know why you came now. If you could just shine it down to the bottom, please, just to show what this was. Perfect. As you can see, it's not a, thank you, it's not a massive cavern or anything, it's just literally a corridor, it's a dead end. These have got firing galleries loopholes are fired into the ditch to protect anybody trying to attack the ditch from this angle you see to get to the drawbridge.
Yeah.
So it's just that they've got rifle slits going all the way along.
The bricked off bit down the end goes through into the drawbridge bit.
Right guys, so we're going back up from where we've just come from. That's that lower area there, the ammunition, and the exit that went on through the gallery area and to the main drawbridge. Just excuse me, I'm watching where I'm going, I'm on a full bypass. And there we go. Some original sockets there, the back to a switch, some loops. War Department brick.
May the 27th, 1911, the garrison of the citadel at the time was the 2nd Battalion of the Royal Irish Rifles from Belfast all the way. Now they were marching through this tunnel, coming up this way. Now one of them, a Corporal Joseph Haggard, who was only 21, was marching along, and this time they're wearing their full green sort of ceremonial uniform, not your khaki, for the service, but full uniform. So he's wearing the busbies with the plume on. This plume fell off, and this soldier was marching along and stood to pick up this plume. Behind him were two other privates, a Private Irving and a Private Nabney, and they just walked past him, you see, because he was blocking the exit. Irving knocked him with his knee, possibly by accident, who knows. And so Haggard, who had bent down, turned up and he clubbed with his rifle, bang, the back of the neck, back of the head. Poor old Private Nabney. Nabney went staggering out to collapse to the grass bank out there outside, with a concussion, effectively. The corporal was then arrested for this and then was demoted as court-martial trial again in the Citadel and bussed down to private. So, apart from that, they did survive. Now, amazingly, last night I was looking in the local newspapers, sticking their names in, and I actually got photographs of both of them. You're not going to believe this. So this here, it's incredible, isn't it? So this one here, I think it's Hugh Nabney. He was the one who was clubbed to the back of the head with a rifle, and this is the man who did it. So that one on the right is Joseph Haggard, Corporal. And this is actually a photograph taken a year later when the battalion was assigned to India. And this was taken in 1915 when he was with the Royal Irish Rifles fighting on the Western Front. Okay, so isn't that amazing really to actually connect two faces again? So this is the one who was clubbed, and this is the one who was actually did it.
Club A.
Here, pretty much where we're standing. So there we are really. Yeah, so obviously it didn't impact his career that much because he's back corporal a year later in the corps. Anyway, so yeah, that's nice to hear that one.
Right, so that's where we've just come from, up this way. We've come back up those stairs, walked along here. And now we're going back this way. That's a bit of a squeeze, that one, wasn't it? Just before reaching the inner end of the tunnel, a short passage on the left leads to 3 enormous brick vaulted water tanks that supplied the Grand Shafts barracks. They were filled via pipes from the well at the Citadel. A narrow tunnel, now partially blocked up, carried the conduits to the barrack below. At present, 2 of the tanks are full of rubble, but the third, this one, is empty and in good condition. There we go, take a walk down this way, guys. At the end you can see another part that slopes off. Quite a steep angle up ahead there. Nearly knocked it over, I don't want to be doing that. There you go, you can hear the generators from outside from earlier. Look at this bit here, this looks like it would be fun to dig out and have a look round. The cutting of the present road through the northern lines to allow widening for heavier vehicles and the demolition of Artcliffe Gate, the southern entrance, for the same reason, has destroyed the integrity of the fortress.
It joins the three.
Okay.
So as one fills,
The other, it spills over into the next one.
Gotcha.
And then we have a quick look down here. This is where Chris was a second ago.
This is the actual water supply was up at the citadel.
Oh yeah.
That's where the pipe work used to come down that way.
There we go. So yeah, this is the remains of the pipework, guys. And we've gone through to the citadel. I'll be very careful here. I'm going to go backwards as well, because I am gigantically tall and this gap is quite small and there's not enough room to turn around, so I can clear my head now. A miniature little doorway, which would have originally been a big archway, but this section's been bricked through. And there we are. So this, guys, was inside the north entrance. It rarely gets seen. So guys, that's it. That's the tour done. It was just saying that the S bend up here is so that any enemies that were coming down through the tunnel didn't have a direct shot at the home guard. So any defence. So there we go, without any further ado. Thank you very much.
Okay.
And we're back out in the open again, guys. Turn my torch off. And there we go. Where do these steps originally lead to?
At the top. Unfortunately, the model wasn't completed on time. One of our members has made a model of this as it was originally. There was a church, military buildings up top. There was a lot of stuff on this site that has just disappeared now.
Yeah. None of it remains, it's just what was there,
There's
is it?
housing up there now.
Housing. Oh, that's a shame, guys. So there we go, that was the original part of the structure that led up to more structures that have now gone and has been replaced by a housing estate, as are many these days, unfortunately. So yeah, we'll get a quick picture of those steps anyway. Here we go, they lead up there. I'm going to turn the camera off now and take a still. Alright guys, so that was that. I hope you enjoyed that tour that they were kind enough to put on. Yeah, hope you enjoyed it. Remember to share, like and subscribe. Yeah, what do you reckon, Chris? It was good. Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it, girls?
Yeah.
Yeah, you enjoy it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they enjoyed it. So yeah guys, that was great. That was fantastic. That was the north entrance in Dover, Kent.
Check it out. Check